The Nitty Gritty from Music City. 103.9 The Maverick.
Well, don't look now, but we're about to turn the calendar to March, and now that means we're just over 3 months away from what us OGs used to know as Fanfare, rebranded several years ago as the CMA Music Festival, and then rebranded again to shorten that. They just now call it CMA Fest. And Wednesday, we learned a whole bunch of artists who are going to be performing at the nightly shows at Nashville's Nissan Stadium, home of the Titans. Artists taking the big stage over the 4 days include classic country types like Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, Dina Carter, Tim McGraw, Blake Shelton, Keith Urban, and Gretchen Wilson, all going to be on hand for the midfield performances during the evening lineups. And you can get tickets, they're still available at cmafest.com. It takes place June 4th through the 7th. Tuesday night, the Grand Ole Opry honored the legendary Ronnie Millsap, whose career spanned an unbelievable 60 years. But before that, they recognized some artists who we haven't seen in a long time as well, and they introduced a bunch of newbies whose names neither you nor I even know. They call that the 2026 Next Stage class, people who they think might just have what it takes to make an Opry nomination one day. And finally this morning on the Nitty Gritty, a new documentary series called They Called Us Outlaws is finally ready to roll, premiering March 15th at the SouthXSouthwest Film Festival down in Austin. Now, this series dives into the outlaw country movement in the 70s, led by Waylon and Willie. Here's just a part of the trailer, beginning with comments on it from Eric Church.
I have a love-hate relationship with the term outlaw. The connotation of that is you're outside the law. And the real artists, the real songwriters, I don't think they ever knew what the rules and laws were. They just did what they did.
I don't think that would have been the brand name that we would have chosen to be outlaws. I think that we went our own way and spoke our own words because we believed in them and believed that that's what we were set down here on the planet to do.
No word yet if that's going to be on one of the major streaming services, but I gotta believe it will be soon. And there's your Nitty Gritty from Music City on 103.9 The Maverick. Now, I think most of us get pulled into meetings, and man, I am not a meetings person. For me, meetings are for people that don't have enough to do. Just tell me what you want to do in the hallway and let me go do my darndest to do it. But I saw an article in this morning's Wall Street Journal that made me chuckle. It was an email received recently from the IT department of a guy who said there's a bunch of words. Well, he goes on to talk about words in the business place that are commonly clunker buzzwords. So if you're in a business meeting and you've got that person standing in front of the office trying to look and sound smarter than they really are, I used to work with one of those. There's a bunch of words that don't land well with most people. And the first one he said is bandwidth. Bandwidth. Hello, you're not a router. Just say you're busy, pal, and maybe you don't quite understand the whole concept. This is one that showed up on a resume. Nobody I know was just in this article. Change agent. Who calls themselves a change agent? Now, I don't know. That might be an attractive descriptor to a company looking for an unemotional outsider to change an organization, but to me, it sounds like a Gomer. Change agent. That made me roll my eyes. Okay, here's one that I have used. As a matter of fact, I still use it. And I don't see anything wrong with this one personally, not just because I use it. I think it's a good way of saying, hey, I'll get back to you. Circle back. A person was asked, hey, will you check this out? And they said, yeah, I'll get the facts and circle back to you. And the supervisor rolled his eyes over circle back. What is wrong with circle back? I think that's perfectly acceptable. But here is another foolish one in my mind. Decision tree. As in, let's reach up into our decision tree and pull something out. For God's sake. Come on, keep it simple. Most of us are simple anyway. And putting ing on the end of most any word appears to be the thing to do right now. I see it on social media all the time, and it almost all the time makes me roll my eyes and say, trying too hard. But the word decision-ing, yeah, decision with an ing on it is hitting the forefront. Like, this is a decisioning meeting. If somebody said that, I think I would laugh and walk out.